Okay, welcome. So having clogged arteries stops you from progressing fitness-wise in a few different ways. It stops you from building muscle, firstly, and secondly, it indirectly drives fat gain. And I'm going to explain exactly how it does this in a second. But basically, in this video, what I'm going to do is, instead of giving you some crazy diet that you're not going to be able to follow, I'm going to give you one specific meal that you can add into your current diet that you just need to eat 2 to 3 times a week. And we're gonna look at scientifically what each of these ingredients does inside of your arteries and how it unclogs them. I've been eating this meal like 2 to 3 times a week on my cut for the past 3 months, and I've been gaining muscle and getting shredded at the same time. So apart from the scientific evidence I'm gonna give you, I'm also just proof that this works. So yeah, give me 2 to 3 minutes right here to explain how clogged arteries stop you from building muscle and how they drive fat gain, as I just promised. And then we'll go down to the kitchen and I'll show you what the meal is, how to make it, and I'll explain what each ingredient does inside of your arteries while I'm making it. So first things first, how do your arteries actually get clogged in the first place? Well, this always starts with a damage to the inner lining of your arteries, which happens from consuming foods with high saturated fats, which makes your LDL cholesterol go up, and this can damage the inner lining, or it can happen from smoking or high inflammation, things like this. So the inner lining gets damaged, and then LDL particles from the LDL cholesterol sneak into the artery, and they get oxidized, which basically just means they mix with oxygen, right? And so your body is like, well, something's wrong, so it sends immune cells to go fight this off and fix the problem, right? But these immune cells, they also get mixed in with the LDL particles, and what happens is they turn into foam cells, which are basically just exactly what it sounds like. It's just foamy cells, right? And this starts the plaque buildup on the edge of your arteries. And then plaque continues to grow with more foam cells or smooth muscle cells, or any debris going through your arteries just starts building up on the wall, and it slowly closes. So when your arteries get clogged, this can stop muscle growth in like 100 different ways, but there's only 2 ones that actually matter, right? And the first one is that your muscles stop getting enough oxygen and your blood flow gets restricted. And basically what this means for your workouts is you're gonna be fatigued really early, and that fatigue is gonna cause you to stop your sets before your muscles actually hit failure, which obviously stops them from growing. The second one is that for muscle protein synthesis to actually happen, your body needs to be correctly bringing the nutrients and the protein that your muscles actually need to the right places in order for them to grow, right? And you can imagine your arteries like delivery trucks, right? They're constantly bringing the building blocks and the fuel that your muscles need to grow to your muscles. And if your arteries get clogged, well, then your muscles aren't going to properly get the nutrients they need, even if you're eating enough protein. If it doesn't go to the right places because your arteries are clogged, well, it's not going to matter. As for how clogged arteries drives fat gain, as I promised I'd also answer this really quickly. Also 2 things. The first one is that having clogged arteries makes you insulin resistant over time as your cells stop responding to insulin correctly, and this causes more glucose in your bloodstream to be stored as fat. Right, so that's just simple, plain out how it is, the first one. The second one is that having clogged arteries basically can feed the bad bacteria in your gut microbiome, and this bad bacteria will make you crave eating sugary foods and make you break your diet because that's what they want. And so they're gonna tell you, hey, eat sugary foods, and you're gonna do it, and of course, that stores fat. So now we're about to go down to the kitchen and we're gonna make this meal together, and I'm gonna explain to you what each ingredient is doing inside of your arteries and how this meal is the most effective meal scientifically to unclog your arteries. But before we do that, I started out my fitness journey looking like this, and now I look like this, right? My entire life has changed, and so if you want me to personally help you make a transformation like this, build your dream physique, get lean, get big, just go click the first link in the description and you can book a free call with me. And on that call, we can talk about my one-on-one coaching program. Okay, so the first ingredient of this meal is going to be salmon, and specifically wild-caught salmon. The reason for this is because salmon is very high in omega-3s, and omega-3s calm inflammation inside the artery wall, and they also reduce the stickiness of the platelets, and they stop the buildup from happening in the first place. So even if your arteries are already clogged, wild-caught salmon will help loosen the plaque so that it becomes unclogged. And if your arteries aren't clogged, the salmon will stop them from being clogged in the first place. You can cook the salmon however you want to. Personally, I like to cook it in a pan, but you can also air fry it or bake it. You can also replace the salmon with another fish that's high in omega-3s like mackerel, sardines, herring, or anchovies. But personally, I don't like fish that much, but I like salmon, so I use salmon. And I'm using 100 grams of this, and I'll list the macros, by the way, for this whole meal at the end of this video. And the next ingredient is going to be a bed of either spinach, kale, arugula, or a mix of all of these. And these are packed with dietary nitrates, which basically undoes the second step of your arteries getting clogged, which is the LDL cholesterol oxidizing. And not only does it do that, but it also relaxes your blood vessels and improves blood flow and lowers blood pressure, which will again prevent your arteries from getting clogged in the first place. And I'm using 2 cups of spinach for this. And after you put your salmon on there, you want to add a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the most research-backed foods for fat loss. And a study showed that people eating a Mediterranean diet that was rich in extra virgin olive oil lost more visceral fat and their waist size shrank. Extra virgin olive oil is also rich in polyphenols, which also protect the LDL cholesterol from oxidizing, and it reduces inflammation in the artery wall. Just make sure not to cook the extra virgin olive oil and just drizzle a tablespoon on top of this. The next thing here is going to be half of an avocado, and this helps with overall cholesterol particle quality, so fewer sticky particles get embedded into the artery wall. Next, you're going to add some tomatoes, or half of a big tomato, and lemon juice. And these are also rich in polyphenols, and you're probably noticing a pattern here. Polyphenols protect LDL from oxidizing and reduce inflammation in the artery wall, which are the 2 main reasons why your arteries get clogged in the first place. So they're very useful for unclogging your arteries. And lastly, you're going to sprinkle some black pepper on top of all of this. And this is going to help your body move cholesterol out of cells more effectively, without your immune cells turning into foam cells, which start the plaque buildup. So this is the finished product. The macros of this meal are 475 calories, 27 grams of protein, 12 grams of carbs, and 37 grams of fat. And once again, if you want me to personally coach you to make a transformation like this, or to build your dream physique, get shredded, get muscular, just go click the first link in the description and you can book a free call with me. And on that call, we can talk about how I can help you and talk about my one-on-one coaching program. You have nothing to lose here, as the call is free, and everything to gain, as it could get you your dream results. So that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.